I was born and raised in Tokyo, and I've lived in Japan all my life. My programs are based on my personal experience and from a local's point of view. So if you're interested in enjoying Japan like the Japanese people do, then this program is for you. Hi, I'm Tokyo Joe and welcome to the Tokyo Joe Show. This video is about train etiquettes in Japan. I'll explain to you the don'ts when using local trains, metros, and local buses. Japanese people in general are sensitive to manners and we are expected to read the room. Someone who cannot read the room is called a KY, and KY stands for Kuki Yomenai, which literally means a person who can't read the air. Here's an example of someone who's a KY. In this video, I will present 6 video clips that were produced by the Nishitetsu Railroad Company. The clips are helpful to understand the real situations that actually happen in the train, and the clips are also very funny. So let's go on and check them out. Wearing a backpack in congested trains could become a problem. Someone who wears their backpack in a crowded train is recognized as a person who's a KY. You're expected to take your backpack off your back. So as you enter the train, either carry your backpack by hand or hold it in front of you. Please don't bring large luggages onto local trains and buses, and instead, take a taxi. Local residents complain that they are unable to take the bus because of tourists with large luggage. If you're traveling from or to the airport, taxi could be expensive. So if that's the case, take the airport express train or the limousine bus to the terminal nearest to your destination and grab a taxi from there. Here's a tip about taxis. Most taxis can accommodate up to 4 passengers, but can only fit 2 large suitcases at the most. So if you're traveling as a group with multiple luggages, then look out for a wagon taxi. One more tip if you plan to take the Shinkansen. If you have oversized luggage that doesn't fit on the overhead shelf, you'll have to book your luggage space in advance. If you don't have a reservation, you may end up having nowhere to store your luggage, so make sure to make that reservation. I'll leave the link in the description. When you enter a train in Japan, you'll probably be surprised to find how quiet it is. People are expected to be quiet in the train, but here's a bad example. The 2 KY men don't seem to realize that they're being loud and rude and are disturbing other passengers. They just can't read the room. You might wonder if it's okay to talk. And yes, of course, talking in the train is not a problem. You know, it's not about the talking, but it's about being considerate of others. So if the train is crowded, it's best to keep quiet. If the person next to you is reading, it's polite to stay silent. Once again, you just have to read the room. Speaking on the phone is prohibited on local trains, buses, and metros. Japanese people are especially sensitive with mobile phone etiquette. Situations like this won't probably happen, but there are people sometimes that are inconsiderate and don't really care. So when getting on the train, make sure that your phone is either turned off or set to silent mode. Crossing your legs or spreading them wide or stretching them out in front of you are all considered as bad manners. You might wonder, why is crossing the legs such a big deal? Well, your feet could get in the way of others and your shoe could accidentally touch someone else in front of you or beside you. Some people are very sensitive about leg behaviors in the trains and they may get very upset. Here's a real-life example. A woman had her legs crossed in the metro, and despite the old man warning her not to cross her legs, she didn't listen. and eventually the old man lost his patience. So here's another person who's a KY. He puts his bag on the seat beside him, and he doesn't realize that his bag is blocking the seat. He sees the person standing, but he can't read the room. So here's how it should be. When seated, please be mindful of others and put your belongings on your lap or on the overhead shelf so that more people can sit. Here's one more KY. Only if he could scoot over a bit and had his legs closed, then another person could sit. Actually, the person shouldn't be sitting in such an arrogant way, but at least he understood what was going on. Priority seats are reserved for people with infants, seniors, physically disabled, people using medical equipment, pregnant women, and anyone who has difficulty standing in the train or the bus. For the avoidance of doubt, this doesn't mean that you can sit there if you're drunk. Some people believe that it's okay to sit there if the seats are open, but I never do. Oh wow, I guess he doesn't know what the badge means. Not everyone who needs to use the priority seats wears a noticeable mark like this, so it's hard to tell who really needs to sit there, and that's why I avoid sitting there in the first place. So there you have it. Actually, there are more don'ts, such as don't drink and eat in the local trains, don't sit on the floor, don't block the doorway, don't do your makeup, don't bring aboard wet umbrellas, and so on. But I guess I'll stop here. Note that long-distance trains and buses have different rules. For example, you may eat and drink on long-distance trains and coaches, and they also have a luggage compartment most of the time. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and that this video gave you a better understanding of train etiquettes and manners in Japan. Before I let you go, here's an extra tip that is good to know. When you take the escalators at the station, note that there are certain rules. Formerly, we had to stand on the side to give way to people that were in a hurry, but now the rules have changed and the new rule prohibits people from walking up or down the escalator. There has been too many accidents, and that's the reason why the rules were revised. So in principle, you don't have to stand on the side to give way to others anymore. However, there are still people that walk up and down the escalator, and they may complain if you're blocking their way. So it's always safe to just stand on the side. Oh, and also note that which side that you need to stand depends on the region. For example, you need to stand on the left side in Tokyo, but in Osaka, you'll have to stand on the right. It's confusing, so just follow the person in front of you and you should be okay. You know, like many other travel destinations around the world, Japan also faces issues of over-tourism and visitors are not always welcomed. But here's a little secret. If you're polite and respect the rules, you'll find most Japanese people to be friendly and helpful. Tokyo Josho is designed to connect travelers to Japan and the local residents in good harmony, and that's the ultimate objective of my videos. So thank you for watching the Tokyo Joe Show. I'm Tokyo Joe, and I look forward to seeing you in my other videos. And until then, mata ne!